Hi everybody, this is Albert and welcome to my kitchen. I kind of lied. Well, no, I didn't really lie. My last video, when I did the pots, I was going to split them into two parts, and then there was like a limit on YouTube, and so I had to end up splitting them into three parts. And then I said that's all the pots I use, which is kind of a lie because I went through the cupboard and I found out there's one I did miss, and that's my large cast iron casserole pot. And this, I know the first thing you think of is Le Creuset because it's white and it looks like Le Creuset, but this actually is a Staub, S-T-A-U-B, and I think this is vastly superior to a Le Creuset. And I'll go over the reasons why I think so. First off, it's cast iron, but it's enameled cast iron, so you get the benefits of cast iron, but you can cook high acidic items in it like tomato stews or anything with lemon or heavy vinegars. But when you open it up, yeah, I just washed it before the present. It's also made in France. Like this is an 11-inch, 28 centimeter. It's also made in France like the Le Creuset, but there's a few glaring differences. Number one, you get a stainless steel knob off the bat, and Le Creusets come with a plastic ones, and that annoys the crap out of me because for the money you're paying, you really should get a stainless steel knob. Now, Le Creuset sells a brass knob replacement for something like 30 or 40 bucks, but why is it you spend a couple $100 on a pot only to have to buy an accessory that should have came with? And a lot of people are going to say, especially the Le Creuset fans, they're going to justify, oh, it's okay, plastic will go in the oven too. Do you really want plastic in your oven? Really? Really? Oh, they say it'll be okay up to 450 degrees. Really? Do you want your food to be cooking with plastic? Because if so, might as well take your food to the local auto body shop, and while they're baking paint onto the car doors, might as well throw your casserole in there. So to me, I don't believe in any plastic of any kind going into the oven, and that goes for the Staub or that goes for Le Creuset knob on top as well. So that's difference number one. Number two, this is not so minor difference, and this is just nothing that you can spend more money on a Le Creuset to compensate for, is the fact that Staubs have what they call self-basting knobs, and just the same thing as the Lodge. These little, look like little nipples, I guess. What they do is, imagine this being upside down as a cover. Well, what happens is, as the steam comes and collects on top, and you gotta imagine this is upside down, right? As the steam comes and it collects on top, if you have a flat cover, all the water is going to run to the weakest area or the lowest area or the least sloped area, or most sloped area, I should say. And so what happens is, if you have a flat surface and your range is not quite flat, then all the water might rush to one end and just drip. And so what's going to happen to your sauce or your soup is that one end is going to be very, very watery and the other end is not. What also sometimes happens is the water collects around the rim, and so the edges of the soup are very, very wet, very, very watery, and the center is not. The problem with that is the center is usually where the heat from your range is, and so the center of which gets most heat becomes the least moisturized, to say. And so that's a very, very bad design. And so you see most of the cast iron, or good ones at least, the Lodges and like the Staubs, the Le Creusets don't have it, is that the water will collect, and it'll collect and then it'll drip down the nipples. So on this, I guess, upside down this way, you'll see the water will collect and distribute and drip all around the nipple, distributing your water back into your pot, as you can see from the nipple distribution, fairly evenly. So this is a very, very good design, and this is a design I prefer. And so people who have Le Creuset and try to defend it, don't bother. You just bought an inferior product. Yeah, I said it, so what? Sue me. The other thing that I do like about the Staub is the fact that I think they call it a hard black armor. I like the fact that it's not the glossy porcelain. This is surprisingly fairly non-stick if you put a little oil in it. I'm sorry, it's still wet. And I like the fact that it looks completely black inside, and it doesn't, you can see the what you call it, I guess something got dropped on it, and you can see the porcelain does chip, but so far I've not been able to chip the black armor coating lining inside. And so I think this probably, if you put it, same amount of water on the same stove and heat it up, there's people who report that the stops heat a little bit faster than Le Creuset. I don't know. I don't own a Le Creuset. Like I said, I don't really like to own inferior products. And so this is the pot I have, and I do soups, stews, sauces. Like if I'm doing like a spaghetti sauce for 10 people, for 12 people, this is kind of, I do a whole pot in here. It sautés, it browns beautifully, and it doesn't take a lot of fire to heat, and it stays. And benefit of cast iron is it stays hot once it gets hot. And so price wise, I think it's about the same as Le Creuset, but again, I don't buy Le Creuset, I wouldn't know. But everybody else tells me that it's about the same price. So if it is about the same price, I'm not quite sure why you'd ever buy Le Creuset and buy an inferior product. Both are made in France, both come in different colors and different sizes. But like I said, this one comes with a stainless steel knob already, so it's oven ready. And it's got the self-basting little nipples on them. And I prefer the black armor to the fully enameled inside. So that's the introduction of the pan I missed in my pots and pans segment, and this is the Staub casserole, big casserole dish, and this is a 28 centimeter if you're in the metric system, or 11 inch if you're in the standard system. Thank you.